Hello, everybody. Here I am down in the bottom. Here I am down in the bottom. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Guys, Terry Hardin, Walt Disney's legendary Imagineer, Jim Henson puppeteer, and all around pop culture icon. So they say. So they say. I say, little old me, Unicorn Terry here. How are you doing? How's everybody doing? As you can see on your screen, Avatar, The Way of Water. This picture was taken by my husband, and that amazing group of people underneath include Jim Cameron. You all know who he is. Costume designer, editor, sound. The chair that's missing, we will go to that later. In that chair is the leading actress of the film, and she will be coming. She makes a kind of a fun entrance. But we went to the Academy Theater and saw this movie yesterday. And first of all, let me just cut to me. Hello, me. Hi. I'm not going to give you any spoilers, okay? I'm not going to talk specifically about the movie, but I will tell you how I feel about it, because many of you who watch this channel or subscribe to this channel know I didn't like the first one. No, seriously, did not like the original Avatar movie. It felt too derivative, meaning I felt it was taking from too many things that I had read about and not giving them credit. And as an artist, even in my younger years, and it has been, according to this actress, like 6 years or something, before they did this second one, before they got in the saddle and rode off into Avatar 2. But the point is that I was really skeptical because I didn't like this film. I saw it once. The original I'm talking about, not Avatar 2. Avatar 1, let me say it again, Avatar 1, I just didn't like. I was one of those people that it did nothing for me. It felt like a video game. I don't watch video games. I don't play video games. I don't hate video games, but it's too much for me to intake. I want to take my time, see, feel in a film when I'm watching it. And Avatar was just too much. There were segments in it that I like. I can remember. I liked the idea in Avatar 1 of someone who was challenged physically could go and then be in a virtual world where he could walk and run and stuff like that. However, I kind of felt like, is that what every person who has a physical challenge wants to do? I don't know. That's not me. So I didn't get on a platform or any kind of soapbox for that, but I just didn't, it just wasn't, there was too much rushing around. Things were spinning. My whole person thought there was some beautiful art in it, but I just wasn't a fan those years ago. That being said, this one, we'll go to this guy. There you go. See, we got to see it in 3D. So there I am feeling pretty super cool in my 3D glasses. We did have to give them back to the Academy. But, what are you going to do with them if you take them with you and walk around being cool? But it messes with your eyes when you're not actually watching a 3D film. But very, very grateful because the Academy, of course, the Geffen Theater did it all out. Best sound, best visual. Great to see it with my husband because my husband liked, did he love the first one? But he remembers. My husband remembers films. He can see them once and remember them. And that's really a plus. And one of the things, he's also in the business. You've heard me mention my husband before. He understands a lot of what goes into film production because he's made a film or two. He's done editing, he's done camera, he's done sound. He's had his toes in just about every, I think, in just about every format of filmmaking. And a lot of it was, stuff for places like Universal and NBC, Comcast, etc. But the thing is, he knows this stuff. So immediately we walked into the theater, which is huge. And I started to walk towards the front, and he stopped at a particular spot and said, "Here." He usually doesn't ask to sit in a certain seat, but this time he was very adamant. Here's where we need to sit. He talked to the guys on the aisle and he said, "Are those seats in there?" And they said, "No." We walked in. We sat down, and then he informed me we really should probably be about 5 rows back and maybe 1 seat over. But oddly enough, and this is how smart this man of mine is, 5 rows back was reserved, completely reserved. So the minute I saw that, I said, doggone it, you know your stuff, because in 3D, you need to be in a particular seat to experience the whole thing really well. Now, I actually love the seats we were in. He said our head was up too much. I didn't feel that. I'm going to tell you, it's a 3-hour film. All right. He kept telling me that all the way to the theater, 3-hour film. And I wanted to have water. He said, drink your water before we go, hydrate before we go. It felt like a marathon. Okay. He was prepping me for a marathon. It's going to be a 3-hour film. We're going to be stuck in the middle because the place is going to be packed. Don't drink water during the film. And the Academy actually has boxed water that you can buy. Many people were buying it. Don't do it. So we didn't. And I must have hydrated pretty well because I didn't need to leave. I could sit through the whole film, and I also wasn't thirsty. But boy, when I got home, I sure drank a ton, because it was a long movie. And then after that movie, we had a Q&A with James Cameron and the crew. And the other thing that Jim, as many people called him, did was he said, in the credits, you can see that we are just a small group of people. And a small group of people. And we're going to show you again, this is just a small group of people that represent that film. And so he was saying, listen, the people that were really making it happen were all those names in the effects, because this film is a whole complete fantasy world. And what's great about that, I'm going to tell you guys, is it is technology at its best. I love this film. Really love this film. I have to agree with some of my friends and my husband. The story was very, very simple. It's not real intense, but Jim Cameron said that he wanted to keep it that way. That he said when he was getting ready to do this film and the other one, they filmed 2 together, you guys know, which I'm now realizing is why this $1 billion break even. They actually did 2 films. I don't think it's fair to say that this particular first film has to make the full $1 billion back. But maybe it does. I don't know. I don't know financing. I'm not a producer, nor do I ever want to be one. Math is not my friend. So I will tell you, but if you made 2 movies, shouldn't you have 2 movies to make $1 billion? Shouldn't you? And you noticed on my thumbnail, maybe you didn't, that the opening day was 50 million, a long way from $1 billion. And I don't know how those of you who are going to see it or saw it feel about it, but I loved it. Absolutely loved it. There were things in there that just made me really happy, including, and you know me about stories, including keeping the story simple. I gotta thank Jim Cameron for keeping the story so simple, I didn't have to work to follow it. Okay. There is so much coming at you in Avatar 2, so much to look at, so much to take in, so much to feel. It's just nice to have a classic story that I know like the back of my hand, that I could just sit back, buckle in, and enjoy this film. And it is a workout. This film is not one you're going to be sitting and falling asleep in. It is amazing. So I highly encourage you, even if you were like me, and this is one of the reasons I want to get out to you today and tell you, is my goodness gracious, love this movie when I didn't like the other one. It made me so excited that I want to go back and watch Avatar 1 with new eyes. Seriously, I am so blown away by this film. Yes, was there problems? Yes, were there a few things that I questioned and maybe didn't work for me or whatever? I pitched it out. Just enjoyed the ride. And you may agree or disagree with me as we get further into the zone where its opening becomes history, and we'll see if it does what it does. But it definitely made me want to see the sequel, which I just didn't believe was going to happen. Didn't believe I was going to love it. I really thought I was going to fall asleep through it. Didn't happen. Wasn't sure I was going to like the characters, because in the original, I wasn't feeling the characters except for the main one. I liked him an awful lot. But it felt too clean, crisp, and video gamey to me, that first one. Now the technology has taken leaps, bounds. I mean, my goodness, it is amazing. And you've got to see it in a theater. Okay, you've got to see it in theater, and you've got to see it in 3D. If you're an IMAX person, good for you. I could not tolerate IMAX in any way, shape, or form. But 3D, it's incredible. It is incredible. And so glad I saw it in 3D. Many of the tribe, Terry's tribe, as you know, my Patreon group, many of them said, see it in 3D, see it in 3D, see it in 3D. And they knew that I would see it in the theater. You're going to see it anytime. You're not going to see it anywhere but in the theater. But what kind of makes me sad, and I was talking to my husband about this, how do you watch it on your screen at home? How can you ever get the dazzle, the breathlessness, the excitement of experiencing this beautiful, beautiful film called Avatar 2 if you don't see it in theaters? Like one thing I love about Jim Cameron is I know there's going to be a box set, and there's going to be behind the scenes, and it involves performance capture. I know you all know this. If you don't, now you do. And I did a lot of performance capture with Jim Henson's company as a Muppeteer. And my goodness, it is a different set of muscles. And that's what's so cool. So let me show you a couple of pictures while I rave about this film. Let me just, there you go. So this guy on the end, he's going to have to forgive me because names, faces are my thing. This person is with the Academy. And one of the things that makes, let me put my hand like this person, okay. Sometimes it gets me, but this person is an excellent interviewer. I love when I go to a Q&A and they've got a really strong interviewer who has studied. You know, he's not some starstruck person. What was it like working with, that drives me crazy. I want to know about the nuts and bolts of the film. And this guy was on it. Jim was able to explain what it takes to make a film like this. The producer mentions, and the producer is in the blue out shirt here. Don't they look comfortable? The seat that's empty is and will be the actress who plays the main character. Forgive me, don't know names because it didn't mean anything to me until last night. Now it means something. But anyway, he was saying that that what you have to do is do two passes. You film the performance capture first, and then you create the film because it's in computer and it's designed and and then you edit it like a movie. Okay, there are no sets to build and things like that. It is performance capture. And in the future, I will show you some things if this is a curious thing that you don't know about. But it is a different set of muscles, but it is a super fun thing to do. Andy Serkis said over and over and over and over again, he kept saying, you should acknowledge this as acting. And he's absolutely right, because like puppeteers, we act through what we perform, and it's just a different set of muscles for the actor. And so, but it is acting. You have to pull from the same depths in your personal, being to make these characters live. And in some cases, it's harder because you don't have a lot of the scenery set up to fall back on. She did say, well, we'll get to that in a minute, but definitely, exciting, really exciting. Jim also talked about the fact that they shot most of it in New Zealand. They worked with Weta. You all know Weta. You all love Weta. Yes, me too. Me too. And at Weta, they were in New Zealand and they never were outside, all inside. Good thing about this, though, when you do a movie like this, is that you get to not worry about weather. You don't have to worry about time of day. You don't have to worry about several things. And this is just gives you another what tool in your toolbox as a performer or movie maker or et cetera, et cetera. So it's super cool. Made me very happy. Here's another close up. We were quite close, got some good pictures of the master and everyone. And I really think he's mellowed with age. Okay. In the beginning, many people said he was very difficult to work with. He was an absolute challenge, and in some cases, a bit of a tyrant. But he really, yesterday, it didn't feel like lip service at all. It felt like from his heart, he was saying, I wanted to make this, I wanted you to feel this. He never said those words, feel this, but that's the way it spoke to me. He took his time. He thought, I don't want this CG technology to take you down the blowhole of a whale into his veins and his arteries and whatever. I want you to experience a movie that is done with this style of filmmaking. Brilliantly said, wonderfully executed. And I know this is why I love the movie. I loved it because the story was so simple. For my husband, a bit too simple. He felt like it could have been more. But I just have to say, for someone like me who really doesn't like these full-on CG movies, this one really it changed my opinion. And I was so happy to be a part of it and get to hear how and why that affected me. A couple of things jarred me, but I'm not going to tell you about those because I don't want to talk too much technical with you today, because I want you to have the same opportunity as I did where you feel it, and then maybe we can have discussion when it's been out for a while. Deal? Like when it's on Disney Plus, maybe a little bit after Disney Plus. But the problem is Disney Plus is never going to do it a service unless you happen to have a theater room where you might be able to do 3D and give yourself that feeling. I say, guys, spend the money. You know, it's still $6 Tuesdays at the AMC. So join Stubbs and go see it in the big theater for $6. You just got to get on that thing, and you're going to be in a crowded theater. Wear your mask if you're concerned. That's what we did. And I got to tell you, you just are going to thank me a million times seeing it in the theater. So please, even if you've never set foot in a theater since before the pandemic, please take the initiative to do it this time. If you love Avatar, don't cheat yourself. Okay. Please don't cheat yourself. This is a movie must be seen in the theater. My husband was saying that most of Cameron's films are like that. He said that about the Titanic. I love the Titanic the first time in the theater, almost a 4-hour movie, but the story, it's a sweetheart love story, you know, it's a little syrupy for me, but I could watch it on TV just fine because I had seen it once in the theater. So in my mind, I could see it. So you got it, you know, theater first, definitely. But I don't know what is going to happen that is going to make this movie something you could watch on a little screen. I mean, little being 80 inches compared to a big theater screen. You get me, right? You get me. Yeah, absolutely. So that's what I'm saying. Here they are again. He's talking about the various things and some of the things that was important. See, we got some great pictures of him. We got some great pictures of him. He looks good too. His white hair. I was jealous. I was jealous of his white hair. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Go away. There you go. Hey, there we go. Okay, so here she is. There she is, the leading actress. Isn't she cute? I would have been great to film her coming in. They you see these panels in the back. Each panel in the back, instead of curtains, pops up. So they open the middle one right in front of her chair, and she could slip in. And she was so sweet and adorable. She kept apologizing for being late, but I thought it was great. She's lead actress. Let her make an entrance. She was adorable, sweet, and lovely. We're just very, very impressed with her and her thoughts about being this lead character. She really started to talk about what these films mean for women, because a woman now has more flexibility, more ability to play different kinds of characters because it is in the motion cap world. And I know exactly what she means because I did a bit of a motion cap film with the Henson Company. It was a TV special called Bratz, you know, those dolls that are kind of sexily dressed, not my cup of tea for children, but that's another story. And I was able to play the boys because I have a very deep voice. My voice tends to be here. When I was in a barbershop quartet, I sang tenor. So I have a very low voice, but I don't have those super high Barbie type voices. I just don't reach those octaves. I'm not a soprano in any way, shape, or form, nor do I want to be. So because of that, she talked. I know that this is true because I got to play the boys. And my voice was the boy's voice. So it brings out a lot of flexibility for the actor because you're not seeing the actor live like we're seeing her here. You're seeing her avatar. So it was great. She talked about how for the character, she went into herself. Actors out there, does this sound familiar? Bringing herself to it, bringing her challenges to it, bringing her personal experiences to it. This is all classic Actor Studios interview stuff. And when I'm with SAG, this is what a lot of the actors say. Get as close to self as possible. Think about your experiences. Let it go. Just let her rip, guys. Don't act. Just let her rip. And this is what she was talking about. And she was talking about the freedoms that you have to work, to play, to do it. As a filmmaker, Jim said, let's zoom in on him a little bit. Jim said that as a filmmaker, and the producer said for the editing, that once you've done the performance capture sequence of the film, which is everything, right? The actors have gone home. They're gone. Bye-bye, right? They might come by, maybe, I would imagine, if they need, like, but they said they can fine tune everything so that they can pick the best performances of said actor or actress. And then I know actors want to be the same actors. I mean, come on, just roll with me here. But they want to, they've picked the best performances and then they cut the film together and then they do the actual film with all the art and stuff in it. And the acting is always the same. The lighting is consistent. The acting is consistent. Everything is consistent. Things don't change. It's really very cool. It's really very cool. I really wanted to go to this. There were opportunities for me to hear from all the performers. All right. And this one's fill up a lot because people like to see the actors. Me, no. I mean, not that I don't like the actors. I love to get into the nuts and bolts of a film. How is this done? What did you do? What were your challenges? What were some of the things you found? Like, ironically, you're in New Zealand and you never get to go out into New Zealand. You're always in a dark room filming it this way, right? Doesn't mean they went out and didn't have a coffee in New Zealand and experienced some beautiful areas of New Zealand. But the point is, you know what the point is, okay? We still love practical, don't we? Endor was practical. Mwah, great. But this is very, very... Guys, trust me, if you didn't like the first one, please go see the second one. In the theater, though. All right? It's incredible. I mean, here she is. The producer is telling her what an amazing performer she is and how dedicated she is and how well she knows her instrument. You know, it's kind of a word that people say, kind of make fun of, and also, but it's true. You study as an actor, you study, and you know, and when you're a performance capture, it's your whole body. So you need to understand your whole body, and you learn. It's a great, I love it. I love it. I've loved doing performance capture, and puppeteering. You know, this is my thing. So kind of love it. But there she is. It's neat, isn't it? It was neat. It was neat. It was great to hear from these people. And she's just going on about the freedoms that she's discovering as a woman, because she talked about the age range. You know, you're in your prime in your 20s, and in your 30s, you know, you see you're playing, you know, you play the leads in your 20s, in your 30s and 40s, you end up being the mother of the lead. And then later on, you're the grandmother of the lead. And that's your line as a woman actress in the business. And this is completely different. So she's very proud of it. She said one of the things that she noticed was that the film being 6 years, her body was a little creakier. So she had to kind of get back in the swing of things for that performance capture stuff, because it is your whole body. It can be very athletic. Just look at some Andy Serkis interviews. He gets very, very physically athletic. He's amazing, actually. But one of the things I started to say that I love about Jim is that he's a big behind the scenes person. So I would imagine there's going to be a box set of the Avatar films with a lot of behind the scenes, and that's what I want to experience and see. I have an idea, a very strong idea how it's done because I did it myself, but it's going to be fun to see, have it validated and see what they actually did. So there I am. There's my review. Thought it was amazing. Thank you for the simple story, Jim. For people like me who just wanted to get involved, I knew the movie was going to be pretty to look at. It does not disappoint, but it's nice to be able to just sit back and really get involved because you don't have to concentrate on the story. There's a movie out called Armageddon Time or Armageddon Now or Armageddon something. And the whole movie, you're thinking about where is this going? What is the story? And that is distracting. The whole movie, you go, is there a point to this? You're going to get to it soon. All of this is going in your head while you're watching the movie, and that's not cool. That's not good for your movie, right? So, yeah. So this one just allowed me to see the things that I love as an artist, and I was really, really enjoying it. There are characters that I loved, and we'll talk about those later. But right now, I just want you to get up off of that, get out of your Barcalounger, and you go to a Barcalounger at the theater. Remember, it's 3 hours long, so get yourself something to eat, but go easy on the liquid because you're going to need to go, and you don't want to leave it. You want to see the full 3 hours. Some people say no, areas are slow moving. Don't know. In my case, I'm not even going to talk to you about that right now. I just want you to be sure to understand that in 3D, in this big screen, is where you need to be to see this movie properly if you're going to critique it later. Okay. I just don't think you can watch it on your television and critique it, especially if you think it's not good. Okay. Because you didn't do it in the way the filmmaker wanted. So let's do this filmmaker a service. Let's celebrate all of the actors and performers and the artists. And there's a lot of them, a whole group of people working on their computer, creating worlds. And you guys who do this know how important this is. And sometimes you're reduced to video game status. I did it to you, of course, in the first one. So now I'm telling you, you created some worlds that I really, really enjoyed experiencing. And it was great. It was absolutely a really, really good movie. And, I'm sure people are going to find flaws, but I just was really grateful that I just didn't think Jim would do a story that was so simple, thinking about people like me. I could have had a little more involved of a story. I would have been fine, but I just was so grateful that I didn't have to worry about the story. I had seen the story a million times, and it's one of my favorite stories. So it was great just to go, it's this story. This is going to happen. This is the way it's going to play, and just sit back and enjoy the film. You follow me? So what do you think? Let's talk to you and see what you think, okay? Happy holidays, first of all. Happy Hanukkah. We're in the middle of it, aren't we? And yay. Are you ready for Christmas? This is about as close as I get Christmas-wise. Look at my cool Mickey Mouse holiday sweater. But I haven't decorated, but everyone around me, so I look at the lights in the rest of my neighborhood. I saw a couple ideas for next time, or maybe for now. Depends on how much I want to work at it. But I'm celebrating a gift that will continue to give on giving, and that is my husband is retiring, and he will be home, and I'm excited. Yeah. If you're with Patreon, if you're part of the tribe, and maybe many of you are saying, what's that? Many of you might be saying, oh no, here she goes. Either way, you're getting it. Patreon.com/Terry Hardin is my Patreon page. It is made up of some of the most wonderful people you could possibly imagine. Think of great personalities, wonderful people times 100. Not everyone is perfect, but they all are about being of service, helping each other and celebrating each other. And we're all very excited because we're going to do a special Zoom call on the 28th where we're going to share our favorite children's storybook. It's just a group that I'm so attached to. They really are my family. I don't have children except for my stepson Ian, who is a real love, no longer a child. But my point is that being with one of my wishes in life was to stay involved with people of all ages because that's what I love. And this is Terry's Tribe. So if that sounds good to you, please go to patreon.com/Terry Hardin. And for as little as $5 a month, you can get some really cool stuff. I always over deliver and for you. And it's a lot of fun. We have a Zoom call every Wednesday where we all get together and chat. It can go a half an hour, although I don't think it ever has, guys, has it? Or an hour or more. And this one in the evening on the 28th will go a lot, probably go for a while because I want everybody to be able to share their children's books. And we're calling it the Footy Pajamas Hot Cocoa holiday story time. So this is something that you get, and you don't have to have any of the higher portals to go through. This is for everybody. It's kind of a Christmas gift to each and every one of us from each other. And if your voice, if you feel like you could be a part of that, or you're curious, please go here and check it out. You can join for just a month and see if it suits you. And if it doesn't, we love you. We're grateful that you tried it. A lot like going to see Avatar. So dip your toe in the water, kick it around a little bit, see if you like it, and join us if you like to do it. Patreon.com/Terry Hardin. I think you're really going to dig it, and we're going to love your voice. Okay. Okay. Looking cool. All right. Okay. Excellent. All right. So let's go back to you guys and see what y'all have to say. What y'all have to say. Hi, honey. Diane Sebo. She's one of those people. Joe, how are you? Good morning, Terry and friends. I have to step away for a short time at 1:10 Pacific, but I'll be back hopefully before y'all finish today. Maybe. And maybe not. No, I'm kidding. I'm sure you'll be back. But happy holidays in any case. How cute. Lindsay's reflections in your eyes. Always. Always. Yeah, I love that picture. I just love that picture. First of all, I look cool in those glasses, but more so, yeah, because he's in the reflection. I love it. Butch Berry, how are you, man? Check my DM page. I will. Not now. But good to see you, Butch. Hi, man. Welcome. Happy holidays. I love seeing the people I haven't seen in a while. So hello. Welcome back. Don't go, Joe. Yeah. Bob Verdeen. Isn't he good? He's quick like you, Joe. I can't imagine both of you in the same room. That would be a show to see. Because you two are quick on the trigger for real. Bob says Bob Verdeen got an appointment, but it's brief. Yeah. Love it. Bob says good luck and Merry Christmas. And I say the same. Happy holidays. I saw that the film's domestic box office was actually something like around 134 million, not 50. Oh, so maybe they were trying to make it appear worse than it was. I got this off of my Channel 5, not Channel 5, but KTLA News and my radio news. So, but regardless, okay, and Joe, thank you for correcting me because that is important, but it's still a long way from 1 billion. But what made me think after I saw the movie is that the team yesterday that was there for the Q&A, which is another reason it was a long journey because they were on for a while, and then we had to drive home from downtown. So we didn't get home till like almost midnight, and I'm like, whoa, what a workout. But the point is that I don't know why the billions should be a factor because they've got 2 films. I don't know when the second one is. Do you guys know when the second one is? But I'd imagine it's going to be sometime next year, right? It's not going to be 6 years. They're not going to wait 6 years. So, and it's in the can. It's kind of like what we did with Dune years ago. We filmed two films because Dune was originally supposed to be in two parts, like the new one is. If you haven't seen the new one is in two parts, isn't it? Well, that's what the original David Lynch one was supposed to be. But then at the end, Raffaella de Laurentiis decided to cram it all together and not make it what we had all dreamed it would be, which is why, if you've seen it, it's a little bit off. It's a lot off for many of you, but it's still cool because they dedicated themselves to the actual Dune book. And Frank was right there. Frank Herbert was right there overseeing everything. I mean, his fingers were all over that movie. And he and David Lynch worked side by side quite a bit. It's pretty exciting, actually. Pretty exciting. So that's what it reminded me of. Is they did the two films together, and I think that was quite brilliant. But okay, not my dad. Okay, but something else that's very touching, which I will share at another time. But yeah, so I think split $1 billion in half. It's still a big box office to hit, or maybe not in half. But why should they have to make $1 billion? Well, I guess they're saying they got to hit $1 billion to break even. They didn't say, well, I think they said Avatar needs to break, right, Joe? They said Avatar needs to break $1 billion in order to break even. They didn't say Avatar 2 had to do it. They just said Avatar had to do it. So maybe it's just a matter of really looking at what they actually said. But what do you think? Because you're really the analyzer in this group, and I love that about you. So thank you for that. It's great. It's a good movie, though. I hope they do. I hope their weekend was good. This one says, yes, and so far worldwide, 300 million. And the third movie is already in the can. That's what Bob's saying. So 500 million, right, is half of 1 billion. Math is not my friend. And so Avatar 2 should technically be, if it hits over 500 million, you're on the right track. Am I wrong? I mean, you guys, Bob, Joe, the one you thinkers out there, help me to better, because I just kept saying, why does this all ride on the first movie? Why does it have to be the one that breaks even? But that may be not what was actually said. So it really made me think. Yeah. Oh, Terry, I finally saw The Country Bears. It was kind of corny but cute, and it was fun spotting some famous faces. Also fun to see my buddy, Dietrich Bader. I didn't realize he was in it. Oh, yeah. Good person, too. Really good. Plus, I recognize the late James Gammon's voice as Big Al. Yep. A lovely person. The puppet costumes were pretty cool. Great job. And it was so fun to see you getting high billing in the credits. Isn't that wild? Oh my goodness. My dad ran to 3 theaters before the movie even started to read the credits. Yeah, when I took my father, that's my dad being the advocate for his daughter. And don't we love it when our parents do that? Also, Joe, if you watch the scene between between Tennessee and Trixie, that was the one that really changed the flavor of the movie. And if they had just left the creators alone on that, it would not have been a corny movie. They got scared because, like this Strange World movie, they attacked the Country Bears before they even saw the Country Bears. They started to say what a terrible film it was and how bad it was, and nobody had seen it. They were just attacking it. And it was a heartbreaker because Disney got scared and they re-edited it to be more people oriented instead of bear oriented. And everybody said they wanted to see more of the bears. Of course, the bears were fabulous. So originally it was going to be a bear centric movie with a few humans in it. And when Disney got nervous, they flipped it. And that's kind of what happened with Dune. They didn't get nervous. They just made the decision they wanted to throw everything together in the original David Lynch's Dune. And rumor has it that David Lynch had his director's cut, okay, which was 3 hours long. Who does that sound like? And now they're trying to get him to come back and bring that one to the screen because there's there's reason to do it. People just love that film, and they want to see what was intended, because Frank Herbert's fingers were right on Dune. So you can see when your hands on that which you create, and we'll talk more about Avatar 2 later, but it's so fresh, so new. No spoilers. I'm not about spoilers. I really am about going in cold, as cold as I possibly can. And for Avatar, it was easier because, like I said before, I did not like that first film. So thank you for seeing The Country Bears, and thank you for loving it. Watch the scene between Tennessee and Trixie. That's really hits the heartstrings, and I'm very proud of that, doing it with puppets, reaching into my inner soul as spoken at this event yesterday and pulling it out. As puppeteers, we all have to do the same thing. It's acting with a different set of muscles, and the more you have, the better actor I believe you're going to be. Titanic came out 25 years ago today. Yeah, and it's still 4 hours long. And it is beautiful. On the big screen, I noticed the art direction was impeccable. I noticed the costumes were fantastic. The story was for me. Okay, I'm not a love story person. Those kind of love stories just leave me kind of flat. And I think it's because I was overdosed with them before Star Wars came out. So this is my personal thing. Don't like those. I'm living mine, to be honest with you. I'm living my love story. And I don't think anything on the screen compares to it. That may sound a little self-righteous, but it's the truth. And you know me, I'm always going to tell you the truth. So that could be the reason too. These kind of smarmy ideas of love, and what compared to what I have, which is true love, it just can't do it. So maybe that's the reason. But but these movies that Jim does, they are big screen worthy. But then afterwards, I didn't feel so compelled that I just don't know how you're going to enjoy Avatar if you don't see it on the big screen. If you watch it on TV, it's not going to happen for you. There are so many things. The color alone, the depth, and the vibrance, and the music coupled with it's just so amazing. And I just don't know how a television can. Do you know what I mean? Coming back on a screen smaller than that one, I just don't see how that's possible. So that's why I'm saying 3D glasses. Get your little self out and check it out. Okay. Do yourself a favor, especially if you love the first one. Do yourself a favor. Ron says, yeah, Cameron movies are theater movies. Agreed. Saw Titanic in theaters and became bored with it over the years with TV showings. Yeah, and it's 4 hours long. God, it's so long. But it's got some, it's lovely. The first time I saw it, I thought, wow. Again, with Cameron, he really does play with depth and atmosphere and color, and all of his team really goes in, and brings it out. So like I said, if you like this, when it came to 3D, which I was initially not excited about, I was astonished that the film was renewed. Yeah, this 3D, me too, Ron. Okay, because 3D in some cases, this new 3D takes me out. The Hobbit, didn't like it at all. Oh, I couldn't stand it. The Hobbit, the Lord of the Rings series, the Hobbit part. I had to go see it again in 2D so that I could actually appreciate it, because it was just too clean back then. And I was seeing the makeup and where it joined and fit on the actors' faces, and that just distracted the heck out of me. So yeah, no. But now it's evolved as technology we know does, and so it's really, really amazing. So yeah, yes. Okay, stepping away temporarily. I'll be back. Joe Penny. Hi, Crumpet Puppet Troop. How are you? Happy holidays. Happy Monday. Oh, gosh, I remember when the older Avatars movie came out and I was only in kindergarten. Did you see it when you were in kindergarten? Do you even remember it all? A friend of mine has all the toys. Oh, still? Money. Especially now that it's all renewed with, I have one of the the dragons. I love the dragons back in the movie. That's the one thing I did love, the dragons, but I kept thinking of Dragon Riders of Pern, which was my favorite book as a child, my favorite series of books. And it was very derivative of that. And that was kind of my problem with the first one. I could think of books that he was sort of being influenced by. But now I've just learned to just strap myself in and try to enjoy the movie as best I can. Being in the business, this is something that is not easy for us to do. I'm an actor, puppeteer, performer, sculptor, designer, and have been in quite a few films and TV. And so you know how the inner workings are the more you're working on them, right? So you can't watch a movie just to watch a movie. As an actor, if the acting is bad, a la Gucci. Oh my gosh. Oh, that movie was so painful. And they nominated it. I have no idea why they nominated it. The acting was so bad, with exception to Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga was actually the best actress in that film. Not saying a lot. She's not supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, but she's definitely better than everybody else. Seasoned actors who know better. So that movie was painful, and there was no way it wasn't painful for me as an actor. And then there's other levels that were painful, but it was painful. And I'm sorry, I felt the same way with Power of the Dog. Everyone was wanting it to be an Academy Award winning film, being the winner, and it wasn't going to be the winner because I wasn't good. My opinion again. Coda was the big winner last year, and Coda deserved it, and that's what I put on. I won a lot of fun-filled gifts for picking that as Best Picture because nobody believed me. But I've been with the Academy. I've watched the Academy Awards since I was 3. I've watched it, good shows, bad shows. I watch all shows. And although I'm not a member of the Academy, I know how they vote. And for a while there, I knew an Academy member who said, the Academy and these movies better than me. Would you like to vote? And he was a producer. So I got to see all the cool stuff and vote. And it was lovely. And then finally, I would report back to him when we filled out his ballot together, how and why these movies I felt were the ones that deserved merit, that had merit and deserved a nomination. So I picked Coda, and I was really thrilled when Coda made it because it was a brilliant film. One I still watch a lot of. I adore it. I just adore this little film. And it really deserved what it got and more. So yes, there are just some that you scratch your head. This year is no different. There are some I watch and I go, well, what? We're my husband calls it. It feels like the year of self-indulgent people that are kind of erping up on the TV screen their emotional situation. And it's not necessarily interesting for us to watch, but it's something they need to do. And as a filmmaker, they are 100% dyed in the wool allowed to do it. It's just that I watch it and go, this could have been done better so that I feel what you're trying to say, I'm trying to think of one that really was about their life. Remember, if you want to do a movie about your life and be absolutely spot on about the history or the timeline, it's a documentary, yes? But if you want to make a movie, you got to make it interesting for us to watch, because that's what a movie is. You kind of play with the reality a little bit and make your own, but make it enough that we want to read more, yeah? So in the case of Hidden Figures, for example, a beautiful movie. I love this movie. I think the movie was brilliant. But when I read the book, I saw that there was a few differences, but it didn't matter because it got me to read the book. You see, that's the part that a movie does. It gets you so excited and you go, is there a book about that? I want to read the book and see what really happened, right? So yes. So that's my position on that. But yeah. It's awesome. So let's see what we've got here. Okay, more. Okay, he's back. See, he's like the Flash, wasn't he? My appointment wasn't there. Oh my goodness. That was fast then. I wasn't just okay. I'll look into the $1 billion break even issue with Avatar. Thanks, Joe. This is what Joe likes to do, and this is why I love him on this channel. I keep telling him he should join the tribe because so many would love his mind, But he says, all in due time. And we don't push. We just say you'd be good. Y'all would be good too. So, and that's why I keep that first portal on the Patreon page, my Patreon page, at $5 because I want to make it easy for you to put your right foot in and your left foot in consistently and be a part of the group without, having to struggle making that payment each month. But you got to have skin in the game. That's the rules. Bob says, as of the weekend box office, they are almost 1/3 of $1 billion to break even. So that sounds like it's going to happen. Because I want to go see it again, right? And if I, Terry Hardin, who didn't like it, want to go see it again, that's a good omen. Mike, how are you? I am good. I like it when the game show host says you were so close. You were so close. Yes, indeed. Absolutely. Joe says he liked the first Avatar in 2009, but didn't see it in the theater. I think it's okay. Not bad at all, but I'm not crazy about it. I enjoyed Titanic several times and did see that in theaters, including a 70mm viewing at the now demolished Mann National Westwood. Beautiful theater. I remember that theater. Yes, I do. I thought it was very emotional and well made. I prefer Cameron's earlier films overall. The first two Terminators, Aliens, The Abyss, and True Lies. Yes, True Lies was fantastic, wasn't it? I loved all of these too. I thought all of these were great. But I got to be honest with you. Terminator, don't need to see it on the big screen. Saw it, didn't need to. Aliens 1. Well, Aliens 1, the preview was so good, guys, that I was sick and went and saw it. My parents, I was supposed to stay at home, and I didn't. I went and saw it. I snuck out to the first showing to see Aliens because the preview was just brilliant. Told you nothing. If you ever get to see the original, it's an egg that cracks and goes, ah! And then at the bottom, it says, in space, no one can hear you scream. No one can hear you scream at the bottom. Ooh. See, I remember that movie. I remember that trailer more, though. That trailer had me in the seat well before the movie was finished. I will tell you, that trailer and more movie preview trailers need to be like that. Need to be so incredible that it gets you in the seat beforehand. I remember the first American Godzilla movie in, the one with the guy from Lady Hawk, the young, adorable kid. I think he was in that, right? That one had a great preview also. 3 guys on a pier fishing. And they were old men on a pier. It was a cold, blustery day. It could have been, I think it was on the East Coast. And the 3 fishermen who looked like they'd been out there forever. And one of the fishermen says, I got something, and it's a big one. And he pulls it up, and we see the pump first, and then we see the eyeball, and then we hear the, and then it cuts to Godzilla. The movie was not good, but the preview was killer. Everyone had to go see it because that preview, that trailer was so doggone good. Less is more, guys. Impact it. Show us, give us the heart of the film in a nice little compact trailer. Don't show us the whole movie. Because when we watch the whole movie in a trailer, we go, why should we go see it? I mean, seriously, that's what I do. I just saw beginning, end, middle. Now, they say they have to show it to you because you won't go otherwise. I disagree. If the movie is as compelling in a trailer, in a preview, if you let those people do their job and get you in the seats, we still talk about those two. Really had us at a hello moment. Seriously. Aliens was fantastic. I think that movie needed to be on the big screen because there is a sequence in Aliens when they're trying to figure out where are they coming, and they lift up that hatch and realize they're in the ceiling. Holy cats, right? Unforgettable. Rest of the movie, do I remember it? But that was amazing, and love that. So I'm with you 100%, Joe. Very good. And then True Lies, it's the sequence where Schwarzenegger drops his tape recorder because he realizes that sexy woman dancing on that pole is his wife doing her thing, and it's gorgeous. Jamie Lee Curtis is fantastic in that movie, and so is Arnold. It's just a great, great, great film. I love that movie. So you're preaching to the choir, Joe. You really are. I saw Terminator 2 Judgment Day in a little shoebox theater in Pueblo, Colorado. Oh, that sounds fun. The first time, but I later saw it at the Continental Theater in Denver, 70 millimeter digital sound. It was incredible. Yes, it is. I mean, it's so nice in a theater when you not only hear dun 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 dun, but you feel it too, like right in here. Dun 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 dun. And you honestly, you can have some really good sound systems in your house, guys, but you ain't gonna beat THX and those Dolby sound systems they got in the movie theater. So treat yourself, especially with Avatar. I just don't know how it's going to do for you at home. So please, please go see it in the theater. I hate when I see a preview and I feel like I've seen the whole movie. Absolutely, Diane, and you know what I'm talking about. You just say to yourself, why do I even need to go? Why do I need to go? Let me check to see if this is my father. It is not, so we're good. Yeah, why do we even why do we even have to bother? And that's a shame because people feel like, and that's people, and even James Cameron, whatever you want to say, everyone kept saying Jim. Cameron was saying that in that 3-hour movie, they talk about Disney kept knocking on the door and saying, make it shorter, make it shorter, make it shorter. Please make it shorter, make it smaller. You can cut here, you can cut here, you can cut here. And one thing about Jim Cameron is that he can say, step back a little more, slam, don't come back. Okay. He has that ability. Lock that, will you? Let me finish my film. He's got the power to do that. And yay, because it's great. There were some areas I thought it moved slow, but I think that, well, it's me. Okay. I feel it's me. And I'm not going to tell you where I felt it was slow, but the areas that they kept telling him to cut were the areas that I loved the most about his film. So, just that's all. I mean, guys, I don't want to tell you too much because I want you to experience it the way I did. It was a amazing opening up of my mind and my eyes and my heart and my body. It was just great. It was just fantastic. And I thank everyone involved with Avatar 2. If you happen to be listening to my little intimate group of people on my channel, or you're listening to my channel and you hear this, I want you to know from my whole heart, I really, really admire all the hard work you guys did for years. I'm just you're brilliant. It's just so amazing. And I can't wait to see the next one. And I love it. I think really for Avatar 3, you just have to put up the title, because Avatar 2 is a great preview for Avatar 3. We see what they're doing. We see the art. We see that we feel the story. Now we want more. You don't even need to just put up the title and say when it's coming out. And we're there. I mean, I'm there. That's all you don't even have to show me what is it. No, just don't tell me anything. Just put the title up, put some great music with it. Beautiful, amazing composer, by the way. And bam, just leave it at that, guys. I think rest on that. Jim, if you're listening, rest on that. You have the power for it to rest on that, because I think the movie is that strong. This Avatar 2 is that strong. You don't really need to talk about what's happening in Avatar 3. Don't show us anything. Let us open the box ourselves and see the surprise. How fun would that be if someone really had the strength to do less in a presentation of a what's coming. So just a suggestion from the Lomi. That's what I feel. Diane Sebo, that's horrible when they spoil the movie in the trailer or even the poster. Exactly. Or they tell it completely wrong and you sit down and you go, oh my God, this is not the movie the preview told me about. Yeah, I've got a couple of those too. I would like to tell your audience, Terry's Patreon page is always a roller coaster ride. We could literally be laughing, learning, and deep thoughts. We have shared personal subject. Terry has brought together some truly amazing people. We have become good friends. That's why I refer to the tribe as the tribe. And guys, love for you to be a part of it. You know out there if it's a good fit for you. And if you don't know, it's $5 a month. So you can spend that. Many of you who may know about the Patreon page, you might even have a Patreon page. Patreon offers you 2 ways to be a part of it. And we as creators can choose those 2 ways. So the first way is to ask people to do it month to month to month, $5 a month or more. There are higher tiers. I mean, higher portals. I call them portals. They call them tiers. I just like portals because you push your big comfy chair in one, test it out for a while, sit, get cozy. And if that works, great. If not, push your chair out and go up. Or out if you wish. But the point is this. The portal is designed to, you can go higher. For the past few years, full disclosure, I have been working on the $5. I've just been tapping on the $10 because that's behind the scenes. You get some behind the scenes. But this coming year, we're going to work on those other ones. So there's actually really good content in them, like the $5 portal. And a lot of times people will do a higher portal so that they can get that. But I'm not as diligent as I am with the $5 portal. But what I was going to tell you about Patreon really quickly is that a creator can ask you to subscribe for a year. But have you guys ever done a subscription? I'm sure you have, right? Getting out of a subscription that's a year long is a serious challenge often. I'm not saying it's a challenge with Patreon because I don't do it. But I do it. I don't ask you to subscribe for a year. And the reason I don't is because I have challenges if I have a yearly subscription and I suddenly think it's not for me. It's not an easy click. Sometimes it's got to be a phone call. Sometimes you got to go on your computer. You got to enter all this stuff. You got to write a letter. It's just really a lot of strings, for lack of a better word. I don't think Patreon's that way, but I really made it clear. I'm also a Patreon ambassador, which helps Patreon work on itself, as do all creators. All creators are asked. We're given surveys and things, but the ambassadors have our hand on the pulse of the growing of the whole experience, the whole page. But I won't do a subscription because I want you free to put your right foot in, put your left foot in, and then if it's not for you, take your right foot out and your left foot out, and at least you tried it. Okay. So I want you to be able to do it. You do it for a month, you test it out. Kind of like when you're watching Disney Plus, you join it for a month, or some of these other subscription channels. You do it for a month, you binge watch everything, and then you see if there's anything else you want, right? And you leave. I'm not saying to leave. You will want to stay if it's for you. If the tribe is for you, you will stay. Because it's at a portal level that's affordable. A portable that's affordable. So that's what I'm saying. And Bob is right. I will make you laugh. I will make you cry. And then everybody else will too. So I just want you to know about it. I don't want you, you may ask me why I talk about it every time I'm on the channel, because I don't want to miss that person who needs it. We have several people who actually needed the tribe, not just wanted to be a part of the tribe, but needed the tribe to move forward, to get out of that dark space they were in. And I am very grateful and honored that I could be a part of that, as everyone else in the tribe helped them to move forward. And it's a private page. It's a private Zoom. I let you know when I'm recording and tell you, and if you want something cut out, we do it. So it's a really safe space for you to talk freely and get things off your chest that you might not be able to do in a public channel because you could be judged. And that's not what we're for in the tribe. So please consider it. Patreon.com/Terry Arden, and join us and check it out at least for a month so you know what we're talking about. Okay. Okay. Anyway, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Maybe Jim Cameron could do a reboot of the Country Bears. would Jim Cameron even care to do a reboot of the Country Bears? There is chatting about the reboot. There is, there's been some ripples in the pond. I won't tell you there's not, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It was fun. The audience go, okay, the audience go, ah, and the game theme song plays. Yeah, Mike, you're adorable. You are adorable. Thank you. Who did the score for Avatar 2, The Way of Water? Joe, you're asking me that question? I'm used to you telling me. I can't name that. But someone else here might be able to. But you're the one that's my information guy. You know names, buddy. I lean on you. You don't think I lean on you, Joe, but I do. You and Bob both. You guys have that, I lean on a lot of people in the tribe. I'm about to renew my pass for Disneyland, and I lean on Stephanie Fix all the time. She is the book of Disney, in my opinion. There's others that are there too, so the rest of you tribe don't get offended. But she just, because she lives very close to the park, and she will tell you how she uses her pass and how if you live near a park, a Disneyland park, how the pass could be really good for you. And then she gives you alternate. She's an amazing lady. Just take my word for it. Let's see. Researching the budget for Avatar: The Way of Water was between $350, $460 million. What? That's why $1 billion is in the breakdown. Yeah. Okay. I gotcha. Avatar: The Way of Water between, yeah. Wow. Whew. Wow, that's amazing. I did see I began to see where the money was going, though, because the costumer, who was my favorite person on the panel, because I love playing cosplay, and that's what I do is build. She said they made every single costume. They created it, the fabric, the feathers, the fur, whatever. Okay, they made them all. And I didn't know that. And that really excited me. So hopefully in the future, Avatar will be shown at the Academy Theater, and they will have the costumes on display in that special section that they have for Academy members and for people who want to go see it, and will actually get to peek through the window and see it. Because wow. Yeah. I mean, we went to appreciation days at the Academy Museum, and we got to see some of the puppets from Kubo, and wow, they were beautiful. I couldn't take my eyes off them. I just went crazy. And then they had a Skeksis. The Jim Henson Company had donated a Skeksis, so we got to see, because in the movie Dark Crystal that Jim Henson made, it's hard to see the intricacies of how beautiful the Skeksis were and the mystics. So it was really fantastic to go to the Academy and see that exhibit, because you really got to see what they did to make these characters look so beautiful. So I love that stuff. Just makes me drool. Yeah, love it. Simon Fringland did the score. Not familiar with him. Yeah, Simon. Let me see what Simon looks like. I got to go to all of them. All the peoples. Musical score, Simon. Gosh, I'd have to ask my husband, but I think he's the blonde dude. But I can't remember. Me and names, not the best. But I think it's this guy here that was sitting next to the empty chair. The empty chair is the actress. I think that's him. Costumers in the yellow. Loved her. sound lady, but the sound lady was like, she says you should have got the other guy because all I did in sound is the blah blah blah. I didn't do the other sound. That was kind of sad because you're sitting there going, okay. And I believe this is the editor on the end, but I'll have to have Lindsay. Lindsay has a better memory. Once I saw this lady right here, she was the one if I could have walked up and said hello to anybody, it would have been her. Because wow, when she said she made every single costume, prop, etc., I was in heaven. I was like, okay, let me see your studio. That was my feeling. But thank you, Joe. I knew you'd come through. Joe says, okay, Cameron himself has estimated that the break even for the film would need to be the third or fourth highest grossing film in history. This means it needs to make more than $2 billion. The first Avatar earned almost $3 billion and remains the highest grossing film of all time. Can I just say I love you, Joe? Thank you for your information. And I hope that Santa brings you enough that you could join the tribe, because I am, I would love to have you as part of the group. You just really have some great stuff to share. So just and that goes with all of you, but you guys have been on this and saw what Joe does. It's just it's fun, and I really appreciate it. Thank you, Joe. Happy holidays. By the way, Terry, Mindy Johnson is going to have a program tonight. Check her website. She told us about it yesterday. Oh, cool. I will if I'm home. It's the holidays. I'm trying to figure out how to get to Costco. And please, Mindy, don't think that Costco is more important than you. It's just that the closer you get to Christmas, the worse Costco gets. You follow me, right? Okay, so but I will try and catch that. Thank you, Bob. That's just joyful for you. And that's our last comment. You saw me. Are you proud of me? I raved mostly about Avatar 2. And that's what the thumbnail said. Avatar 2. So please, guys, go to the theater. Please, guys, go to the theater. Go to the theater. Go to the theater. Go to the theater to see Avatar 2. Okay, do yourself a favor, especially if you liked it. Okay, don't cheat yourself. All right, and if you didn't like it, and that money is in your pocket and you're going, I really don't want to spend it in case I don't like it, please go see it. And remember, at AMC, $6 Tuesdays, and it's on that list. So pop in there for $6. Same beautiful. Get the lounger chair, the one that's a Barca lounger like the one you have at home. Bring a blankie even if you want, and snuggle in. You're going to have a great ride. You're going to love it. And then if I am wrong, you have a place to fall asleep. Okay? If you can fall asleep through this movie, power to you. All right? It's your right, but at least go to the theater and give it the best opportunity for you to fall in love with, if possible. No one wants you to see a movie, with tape over your eyes, right? Or tunnel, you know what I mean? You just give it everything. Give it every opportunity. Do this movie a favor. I never thought I was going to be this person right now. So this is why I'm talking to you so passionately today, because I was shocked that I loved it so much. My husband was shocked. I think the people in the whole place were shocked because I could not stop yammering. Of course, all of us couldn't stop yammering about it. Once that last credits happened, we were like, we all had stuff to say, and we're all in the business. Understand that whole theater of audience, everyone is in the business in one way, shape, or form. So that's what's really cool, is you got everybody around you that's in your business, right? So please, at the theater. They thanked us for seeing it in the theater. I thanked them for showing it in the theater and making it 3D, because I was scared. I saw those 3D glasses and, oh no, now I got another thing I got to worry about. And it was okay, guys. It was okay. It was okay. Don't worry about that which you cannot change. And it really served me well. So yes, I'll check about Mindy. On a fun fact, I've never been inside a Costco. Be careful, Joe. Be careful, because it's not all Costco's. All Costco's are not created the same. And there's one in particular that is just so much fun that if you go there, it can be very dangerous. You want a cart will not be enough. So please be careful when you go into your first Costco. And then there's an office Costco that I absolutely adore. You cannot get the pizza, the hot dogs, the hot foods like chicken or ribs or things like that. Yes, they do give you those. And by the way, they're Foster Farms. Not the ribs, but the chicken is. And they got some great stuff, but that fresh stuff isn't there, but it's in the office. You can get cool office stuff, and it's really a fun place to go visit. That's in the Sun Valley area off of Sherman Way. So it's really fun too. So be careful. You can, I'll take that back. You can get the pizza, the sodas, and the hot dogs because they do have a snack bar out front. But inside the Costco's are just different kind of people, different kind of atmosphere, different kind of parking. Like you can park. Some of Costco's are like Trader Joe's where it's impossible to park. And I do not like going to Trader Joe's whatsoever because I cannot park. Parking is an issue with me. If it's a convoluted, crazy, stupid parking structure, I just don't want to be in it. Someone else is going to have to drive because I can't. It's a thing. If it's not done well. That's why I like the parking structure at Disneyland because it's so efficient and it's actually fun. That I'm impressed with that one. I love it because I know I'm going to be able to park and it's cool and then fun and it's neat. There's a couple of things that were irritating me about it, but I figured out the system thanks to Stephanie Fix again and my other friend Kimberly. So between the two of them, yeah, they've helped me to understand how to work the parking system. So I'm telling you, the tribe is really a great place to be. I hope you'll join us. I will go see Avatar. Merry Christmas to me. Yes, definitely, Diane. And join Stubs. You get it for $6. Join Stubs. It's free to join Stubs unless you do that big supercalifragilistic one where you see 3 movies a month. So if you're not someone going in theaters, don't buy that. It's just going to take your money. A subscription, by the way. So be careful. But the $6 Tuesdays, you just once you're a Stubs member, you download the little app and punch it and tap Tuesday, and they take it off at the end. So it doesn't even pay to be a senior on $6 Tuesday. You still save. So everybody saves on $6 Tuesdays. So go to AMC and be a Stubs member. I've been for years. I love it. Free popcorn, free drink, free upgrade, all kinds of fun stuff if you do visit the snack bar. Are we supposed to talk today? I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Maybe. I don't mind. I'm really busy today because I'm meeting with a social worker for my father. So that's going to be a red letter day. I don't know how long that's going to take, Bob. So you can maybe tomorrow, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Basically next week, if you can talk later in the week so that I can kind of find, I can kind of figure out Lindsay's availability, then I'll know. Right now, I don't know. I have to wait till after tomorrow to kind of get an idea. He's right now in complete getting things done for the last week. He's at the business. And so he's focused on that. So I'm trying really hard not to distract him so he can stay focused on these things that are happening within his company as he makes the exit. And some of them are very endearing. He had a lot of people come and tell him how they don't know what they're going to do without him. And he just didn't believe there was anyone who was going to that. He was going to disappear on the wind. But it didn't happen. A lot of people came to him and said, "We're going to miss you, fella. We can't believe that you're leaving us. Don't go." And I'm on the other end saying, "Don't do that." But true. Bobberdine, no, shh. Oh, you too. $30 to park at Disneyland is insane, though. Yes, Joe, it is. But in my current situation as a Disney Imagineer, no, it's not free. Okay, let me just tell you. For those of you who are new or joining me later, please subscribe. It's a wild ride, though. You never know what you're going to get here. A lot of fruits, nuts, and flakes. So you never know. A plethora of things I'm going to give you, right? The misfits of science are my favorite people in the world. The misfits are my favorite people. The island of misfit toys, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, that's me. I love you all. If you feel like you don't fit, you belong here and in Terry's tribe. If you feel like you do fit, but you feel funny, maybe it's because you need to know how wonderful you are, how special you are. That happens in the tribe, and here as much as I can make happen. But Joe, I'm able to take it off on my taxes because I'm a Disney artist. So I get the pass because I live close. Yeah, I get the pass. I got to think though. You see, the good news is for me, and I'll just say it on the top of the end. I can deduct it because I'm a Disney artist, and a lot of the stuff I did was for Disney. When I start to do my own thing later, it's gonna have to be evaluated, right? You got to think everything is changing in your life, and you have to keep your eye on it. Which as an artist, a lot of times we don't. But my husband isn't a real Disney park fan anymore. And he likes to go, but he doesn't like to go a lot. So if we have friends down from like Candlelight, we used to go all the time together because y'all go to Candlelight, or you used to when y'all had that pass that let you in and go all the time without costing you an arm and a leg. Yeah, we used to see everybody on Carolwood night, and then on Carolwood night on that Candlelight night. And we loved it because he could see all of his friends and all the people that like to see him, and he could do it one day a year. So he liked that. Sometimes a birthday, but not often. And so I just buy him a ticket, for a year, someone going for a year. We don't ever go during the Christmas holidays. In fact, Stephanie told me with my pass, I should wait a little bit so I could go during Christmas. But I don't go during Christmas. It's just not, I love the fact that Disneyland leaves the decorations up till the first week in January, somewhere in there. And that's usually when I pop over, when y'all have gone home. I can still see the parades. I can still see the show. I can still see anything. And there's a little less of you. So not that I don't like you, but crowds are a challenge for me. And sometimes it gets really packed, and I've never been good with super crowds. So it's nice. And so I'm getting ready, Christmas has never been I must go. I go for Candlelight, which I get to see everything, which is lovely. If I go for Candlelight, I didn't this year. But usually I do. So my point is that if you work with Disney and Disney doesn't already give you Disney Plus because you're an employee, which I am not, nor do I pretend to be one, but I am a contractor, the Come Here, Get Away, Imagineer. And I'm called a couple times a year if they need me. And if not, then they leave me in my box for when they do. It's a nice position for me, actually. So I like it very, very much. And it works. But $30 to park, yeah, it's kind of crazy. Which is what makes it good is that if you go talk to these hotels that are across harbor, they are all offering you specials around $15 if they've got space. And so during peak season, they probably don't because everybody's in the hotels. But a lot of times during the colder months like this, and in between, they'll $15 and you can park there, and it saves you a couple of bucks. Some charge the same price because they go, we're close, But now that the trams are running, that closeness doesn't matter, does it? So yeah. So if you're going to Disneyland, yeah. You got it, right? Right. Okay, great news about your dad. Thank you, Bob. Yeah, very good news. I agree. Parking is ridiculous at Disneyland. Yep. Beep, 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 beep. Oh, but imagine if you live nearby and you're friends with someone who lives nearby. I'm just saying, there's a lot of people that live near the park that you can sometimes park your car at their location and then take an Uber up. Then you don't have to worry about parking. I don't know what Uber costs. I don't do Uber, but this has been the suggestion of many people in the tribe. Just do that. Find a friend, work it out. So never give up, right? You want to go? Don't give up. Get your little body out there. See you Wednesday on Terry's Zoom call. Mwah! You have a lovely time, my love. And we'll see you Wednesday. Iger seriously needs to eliminate the reservation 9 cents. Yeah, Joe, I don't know if that's going to happen. Truthfully, I don't know if that's going to happen because Disney had been before the pandemic wanting to regulate when pass holders are there and when they're not. I mean, we all knew it as pass holders that they wanted to keep us out. Not because they hate us, but because we're there. You know, when a pass holder goes in there, a lot of times you're doing things that people who buy tickets don't do. Okay, some of you do, but here's what happens. If you're a pass holder, you've got a lot of days you can go, right? And a lot of times you go all the time. This is prior to the pandemic. All the time you would go. Sometimes you go and get a Dole Whip and leave. Sometimes you'd go shopping and leave. Sometimes you go see the new parade and leave. Maybe you would go in and see the new merchandise and leave. You see what I'm saying? Right? When the new ride came out, you went and you left. Sometimes you don't stay the whole day, nor do you stay in the hotels because you live close. Or if you do stay in the hotels, you're in a big group. You see? But the pass holder mentality for a lot of people is different from the person buying a ticket. Person buying a ticket, the ticket is so exorbitant that they do like I did when I was a kid. They synchronize their watches. Okay, lunch at 12, go. And you run around the park and you try to do as many rides as you can and you go as fast as you can and you try to see as many characters as you can and you try to fill it because you only got one day because that ticket is so expensive. Yes, yes. That's what we did when I was a kid. Yeah. Now, Terry's idea of spending most of her time in the park was the original rocket ships in Tomorrowland and the Jungle Cruise. I'm telling you, that was my jam. And Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, which we still have at Disneyland, guys, because who doesn't like going to hell and living to talk about it? So it is one of my favorite rides, and I always got to go try it out. I love the Dumbo flying elephant ride also as a kid. I mean, who doesn't love a flying elephant? Like I said, but you were synchronizing your watches and you were doing it. You didn't even want to sit and eat lunch. You wanted to grab a corn dog, grab a sandwich. Most of the time you went over to Tomorrowland, to that space place, with the stage that rises up in Tomorrowland Terrace, yeah? Tomorrowland Terrace, because they had fast food. You could eat it on the go while you're standing in line. So when you buy a ticket, your mentality is different, okay? And that's why the Emporium is on your way out, because you don't want to even take time to go shopping. Tell me if I'm wrong. Please talk to me now. But that's the case. But with a pass, you sashay. You go in and you meet your friends for an cafe. You have a little dope, or maybe you will shop. But the really reason is, you know, you're at the top, 'cause you can go to Disneyland anytime. So you sit and have a glass of wine. That's only if you could go to Club 33, of course. But the point is, you take your time, you look around, you really see the park for the very first time. So honestly, if you're one of those people who can do that, you start to realize what passes open up for you. Even the one with a lot of blockout days. I'm telling you, there's no fighting it. What, do I wish there were a little less? Of course I do. I think everyone should have them. But this is why Disney started raising the price, because they couldn't figure out a reservation system. So, Joe, this reservation system during the pandemic was a godsend for Disney, because now they can regulate how many people come in. Here's the thing, though, for the pass holder. The pass holder, I'm just talking about yours truly. The pass holder will go over there in the afternoon. All right. She'll be cruising home from Anaheim. Maybe she's gone to see a friend over in Irvine, or as a pumpkin sculptor, she's visited the pumpkin patch, taught a class. I wonder if I can get into Disneyland. You foop up that app, see if there's room. It's about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Room. Yes. Go. You see what I mean? So you don't have to be the whole day there. You see, you can go, you pop in, have some dinner, see some friends, yell at a couple of people that are nearby. Hey, I'm going to be in Disneyland for about a couple hours. Want to join me? You see? You see, it's a different mindset if you're near one of the parks. Walt Disney World must be a serious red letter day when you have a pass because there's so many parks you can go into. You know, I would be in Epcot most of the time because I loved going to Epcot for breakfast, dinner in Japan, maybe a snack in China. But yeah, oof, Epcot's my favorite. So it's my favorite park. But seriously, Animal Kingdom is really good. And my friend, um, Johnny Johnson, he took me to Yak and Yeti in the Animal Kingdom. And I love that restaurant. I cannot talk about it enough. Oh, gosh, really wholesome, delicious food featuring fish. And I love fish. So, yeah, what a great restaurant. And I'm different. In the morning at Animal Kingdom, when I go to Pandora, I don't like the land at all. It's too hot, it's too humid, and it's not pretty to me. But at night, nothing better. Boy, when you go through Pandora at night, it's frigging stunning. Just amazing. Takes your breath away. Daytime, for me, if you like it, please don't be offended. I'm just telling you my opinion. But at night, oh my God, there's no place you want to be. You got to be there. You got to be there. It is just breathtaking. And I think you go in the morning, and if you're like me, it's kind of meh. But when the it's dark, you appreciate that. Oh man, it is just flipping amazing. So very, very much loved. They also have some characters there during the day. They're fabulous to people walking around, creatures walking around. Oh, it's so wonderful. It's great. And then, of course, there's the ride, which the best time to go is first thing in the morning or the last thing of the day. You're still going to be in line for about an hour, but it's worth the wait. I only needed to ride it once. I don't need to ride it over and over again, but I did want to experience it. And someone who has motion sickness, it didn't get motion sick. And I think it's because I believed I was actually riding a dragon. So, and you know how I feel about dragons. So there you go. Right? So there you go. Anyway, we got a little off on a tangent, but I brought it back, right? I brought it back. Did I bring it back? Yeah, I brought it back. Just popping in for hi, Ava. Quick hello. Life has been crazy busy. I haven't been on social media like most of us. Wishing you and your family and everyone here a very Merry Christmas and the happiest of holidays. To you too, Ava. Thank you for popping in and doing that. How kind of you. But that's the way a lot of people are. They're busy. And, you know, this is why I'm doing these ones, because you can go and see these lives a little bit later. And one of the things we'll do for the Patreon page is have a lot of live stuff. And then you can see them on YouTube because they just are there. They stay in YouTube. So you can come back later. You know, when your week is really crazy, Ava, you can just go to YouTube, type in Terry Hardin and watch all the ones that you didn't watch or listen to all the ones you didn't hear. So you got your options there. So good for you. Happy holidays. Mwah. Thank you for popping in. Yes, look, Bob's doing his thing. Hanukkah, Shmanukah to everyone who's Jewish. Merry Christmas to everyone who's is that I didn't say Shmanukah. That's wrong. How do I say that? Hanukkah. It looks like Shma. Anyway, to everyone who's Jewish, he said it right. Sometimes I can't read words. Merry Christmas to everyone who's Christian. Happy Kwanzaa to everyone who's African American. Happy Festivus to everyone who is a Seinfeld fan, and Happy New Year's to everyone. Yeah, well said. Even if I didn't say it well, Joe. It's to try to control the crowds. Sometimes it's hard to walk down a street because it's so crowded. I mean, and this is with reservations, Diane. So I don't see it opening up ever again. So what does that mean for you if you're a distance traveler? You're going to need to get in there. Plan the time you want to go and put it a few months out, guys, just like you'd book a plane ticket, all right? I think 9 out of 10 people are not the one that jumps in on Priceline or one of these quickie places and books a ticket at the last minute. It's just not good travel sense. Sometimes you can get a last minute thing, like I hear on cruises you can. Like if you wait at the last minute and you're a single cruiser, you can get some really good deals. But for the most part, waiting till the last minute doesn't work. So you got to plan. Plan. Ask people, when is downtime? Is there a downtime at Disney? Yeah, I believe there is. It's not that down, but it's more down. The up times that you can have some challenges are spring break, Christmas, and Thanksgiving. Sometimes Thanksgiving on Thanksgiving Day, it's a ghost town, but sometimes not, you know. Their birthday, forget about it. Monumental, iconic days for Disney, Walt, Disney, it's Disney's 100-year anniversary. So it's going to get crazy across the globe. But the reality is talk to some of your super Disney friends like I have on the tribe, and they're going to tell me some times that are good to go. They'll tell you time of day as well as time of week, as well as what month. Okay. Not always guaranteed, but they'll tell you where to stay away from it. Spring break is definitely one of those times they go, boop, 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 don't go. So that's what you need to do when you're planning your trip. When you're planning your trip, find out that. Ask people. Look at what the hotels say. Ask the hotel. If you've always wanted to stay at the Grand Californian, but it's really cost prohibitive, and it is, or the Disneyland Hotel, which, call and ask. Just call and ask. They're all, or get online and ask your friends. Okay. Seriously, they know this stuff. So it's super cool. One of the reasons that Paris is so fun to go to is usually around September. It's a great time to go to Paris. Less traveled, because I guess school, and the hotels have a pretty good deal. When I ran, when I did the Run Disney, that's when they booked it. September 27th, I believe was the date. 24th, 27th, something like that. And it was great. It was cool. So just do some homework, make a plan. Once you know the general idea you want to go, plug in that pass. Get those reservations for you and your family out as far as you can, so you've got more to work with. That's my advice, really. That's my advice. But it's all I don't see the reservations going. I really don't. Serenity now. They should bring back ticket books. I think ticket books would be awesome. I really do, because not everybody goes to Disneyland to ride rides, do they? I don't. I mean, I want, like I said, Jungle Cruise, Mr. Toads. Now I like Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean, things like that. But reality is I don't go to ride rides. I really don't. I go to see the people. So it would be nice to have a ticket book, wouldn't it? So you could just sort of a la carte. The other thing that's good about ticket books is you could take your kids who are probably too short, not quite tall enough for certain rides, and you could book the rides they're for, and maybe buy a taste of rides because they're a bit young, so that they can begin to be introduced slowly to Disneyland. That a ticket book would really work along with the bigger tickets. Yeah, I think it would be great for that to happen, so people with families could make it more affordable for themselves. Because it is important as an Imagineer, we're always problem solvers. So I often say on this channel, rather than complain about what's not working, make suggestions which are working. Okay. And I do that for my community as well. They were going to put a Starbucks in a place that if they had done a Starbucks, it would have been a nightmare. So I got in with my city council, which I can do where I live, and say to the city council, look, this is a really bad idea. But let me tell you a good idea. Let me help you. If you really want to build a Starbucks and you really want to build it in our community, here's where it needs to be. And here's why. They have the land for the parking that involves with Starbucks. So I happen to feel like there's a ton of Starbucks, but some of you may feel there's room for one more. The point is that where they were going to put it was absolutely wrong. And I knew they were going to get a lot of from the community. So rather than do that, not only did I say why it wasn't going to work, but I suggested where they might look where it could work. And I really want to encourage you to do that for when there's something you don't like. If you don't like the reservations, look at what Bob did here, or what Joe said right here, which is ticket books. That's being part of the solution, not completely part of the problem. Well, if we can't get rid of reservations, could we do ticket books and make it more affordable so more could go? All right, because the ticket prices are crazy high. And so how about making it more affordable for people? They could pick and choose what ride they like. And then it's like a little bit of a taste of Disney, as opposed to, trying to eat the whole Disney sandwich, right? Yeah. And in some cases at Disneyland, for those of you who live far away from Disneyland, the downtown Disney is really great because they're starting to create experiences of their own. You can go into the Grand California and see things that are just magical, buy a few things that are incredible, and have a lovely time at the Grand and around the Grand. The Lego store, huge fun there. And the Star Wars store, although I don't think the store is that great, a lot of the entertainment in there when they choose to do it is fabulous. So downtown Disney is a lot of fun too, right? Yeah, really fun too. Bob Berdine said, "Oh, I think they're playing you off here, the theme music." Yes, I do. I can hear your gardener running leaf blowers outside. Yep, they're early. They never come before 12:30, but because it's the holidays, and there's more of them too. You want to know why? The guy who runs the group told me they're hoping for a Christmas bonus. Here's a tip, guys. Don't work hard at the beginning and the end of something and expect a Christmas bonus. Work well throughout. Have the integrity to do your best job the best you can all year, because people like me know what you're doing. Doesn't mean I'm not going to give you a Christmas gift, but it ain't going to be a big bonus. I'm sorry. No. I see through your BS. So that's why they're early. They're like, hey, we're early. Look at us. We're early. Aren't you happy? No, I'm really not. So for some, maybe others are happy you're early, but I'm really wish you had stayed till 12:30. This is why I plan my broadcasts the way I plan them. It's okay. It's all right. I guess music is in the ear of the listener. Now we're all right. Anyway, guys, I love you. 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 And where you go, I'll follow. I'll follow. I'll follow. So happy, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Enjoy your day. I'm enjoying mine. I love you very much. Thank you for being here. Mwah. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. I will see you on Ask Me Anything Friday. Okay? Be well. Be safe. Do something nice for someone else. It'll make you feel a whole lot better. And although that sounds like my tag ending, it is the truth. Try it out. It really works. Okay? Listen to Diane as she sends us out with happy holidays.